Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about sprint warm-ups. So not all the way to sprinting, but sprint warm-ups. How do we prepare ourselves to get a good workout in? Let's go. So guys, welcome back. This specific video is based off an Instagram post that I did with my friend Coach Chappie, Corey Chapman from Stuttgart. Here's the thing, as strength and conditioning coaches, sports scientists, we all know that there's never enough time. Whether we've got to fight with the head coach, the athletes themselves, sporting director, whoever it may be, there's never enough time to do everything that we want and or need to do. So we have to learn how to be efficient with little time, the energy that we have left over when the athletes aren't perfectly regenerated, they're not fully recovered, they're also only going to have so much energy and only so much intensity and effort that they can put in. And so we coaches learn the skill of getting really good at narrowing down what really matters into a small amount of work, small amount of time, and then having our athletes do that. Again, in order to get the most out of the training week, in order to keep them healthy, there's just some things we got to do. And if you're in a field and court sport, you need to be sprinting at least once a week. If you haven't seen this post yet, if you want to see the workout template, you can click on the link in the description, and that'll take you to Instagram where we posted the original posts. Couple of considerations here. It's really important to know that if you got 20 minutes of time, you're not going to be able to work on max velocity. You're going to have to work on acceleration. Those are the first couple steps, working up to 10 to 20 meters. The thing is, we often get low quality work in because we want to do a 20-minute sprint session with max velocity, or we wind up doing longer runs and stuff like that. But when we're sprinting, in order to do anything with maximum effort, especially speed, being that that's the most aggressive thing the body can do, sprinting, we need rest. So we need 1 minute rest per 10 meters sprinted. So if we're doing 30s or 50s, you're gonna rest 3 to 5 minutes. If you only got 20, doing 3 to 4 reps is probably not your bread and butter. That's not gonna really get you the money that you want out of the session. So we're gonna stick to acceleration. We've divided it up into a warm-up, a power and plyo section that's preparing us for the sprints, and the actual sprints, which we won't go over because this is about sprint warm-ups. So again, we're looking for efficiency, but also high quality work here. And there's a couple things that we need to look at in the warm-up. 3 things that I'm specifically looking at here is 1, incorporating the whole body. We have to. Sprinting is a whole body movement. The torso, like the trunk has to rotate, the arms are pumping as well as the legs pumping. So literally everything needs to be warm. The second one is body temperature. Sometimes we forget that in warm-ups, especially when we're doing like runs or sprints, that we actually have to like raise our body temperature and get warm, get our heart rates up, because sometimes it's cold and we just like immediately want to start. So we go and give 100% and don't actually purposefully make ourselves warm because it's just cold. Or it's the middle of summer where it's already wickedly hot, and with extreme weather, you're just like, do I need to spend more time getting even warmer? I don't think so. Let's just get to it. But those are exactly the times when we don't want to forget that warm up, getting us actually ready to perform. You can't have a peak performance off of nothing. You have to warm up. The third one is rhythm. Now, usually we would have a rhythm section if we were doing some technical work in speed training, if it was a longer sprint session, but we have very little time. So we're going to add that technical work, the most important piece, which for me, for the most part with young athletes and working with young adults as well, field and court sport athletes, that's going to be the rhythm of sprinting. The rhythm is so important. So those are some of the factors that we've added into these first 2 sections. The first exercise I'm always doing, you can almost count on it, you can bet money down that I'm going to have this in the warm-up at some point, is the world's greatest stretch. I love it. It incorporates everything. We're leaning all the way into that hip, we're rotating, we're opening up the chest, and then we're rocking it back and getting that hamstring as well. We're doing that alternating over 10 meters. The next one is then the zombies. And this is usually when I'm making apocalypse jokes for some of my young players, and they think that's absolutely hilarious. Because we don't have activation, world's greatest and zombie are 2 almost flexibility exercises for me that I love to put in there because they're dynamic. They literally get the whole body moving. They're gonna elevate your body temperature, at least the zombies are, because we're doing it alternating over 10 meters, getting your leg up there, and it's gonna elongate the hamstring, which is something that we need the hamstring activated dynamically in order to have a good sprint session and not raise the injury risk unnecessarily. So this is a big focus for us, is the zombies. Next, again, building rhythm is important. We're doing a skip with an arm swing over 10 meters, stopping at the 10 meter mark, walking back, waiting a couple seconds, and then starting again. That's your rest time. So just a classic. A lot of sports do this. I find it to be really important. This is when the pulse goes up. This is when the body temperature starts to go up. And again, incorporating whole body movement. Next is high knees. I love it. If we were doing a full workout, I would probably have high knees under the A series, which we'll come to the A series later. We're using that more for the technical aspect of speed today. And high knees we're using more to, again, get that pulse up, get body temp up, build rhythm. Twice over 10 meters, that means, again, going the 10 meters, alternating, high knees, walking back, waiting 15 seconds, and then going again. We're just having the kids count to 10 to 15. And we want to accelerate over the 10 meters. So if you start out fast on the high knees, I still need you to get faster with every step. That's our focus, is building speed, working on acceleration. This is the first moment where we get to accelerate in something. So high knees, we're doing that twice over 10 meters. Next one is the straight leg run. Again, building rhythm, super important, but also hamstring focus. We're doing this over 20 meters because for a straight leg run, it's pretty difficult to actually build rhythm over 10 meters. It's simply too short. And also working for max velocity to actually get maximal hamstring input or stimulus, we want to do it over a little bit longer. So we're doing it over 20, which means, again, going to the 20 meter mark, stopping there, walking back. And here we're going to probably count to 30, even though it is a longer walk back. Okay, moving into the power and plyo section. Here we're going to do some jumps to really prepare our body for what's about to happen, which is the main sprint section. Here we're going into those low but fast ankle/pogo jumps where whole body is upright. We're really just, it's coming out of the ankle. Next, we're going for one line lateral line jumps. I love these so much. And instead of doing it over 10 meters or 20 meters, we're doing it over 10 seconds. And I love this because it activates the nervous system like nothing else. So as many repetitions as you can, and we're gonna do that twice. Next one is single leg bound to deceleration over 10 meters. So I'm going to pick a leg, right leg, take as many jumps as I can to reach 10 meters, stop and decelerate completely on the 10 meter line. And here we get to the A series where high knees would usually be under, except we're using that for a different purpose today in the warm up. So here is our A series for today. We're gonna do A marches. It teaches the arm swing. I'm thinking thumb to eye. It's a little bit over exaggerated. It will never get that high in actual sprinting for the most part. Teaching it almost over aggressively really does help. Football players are known for this kind of running, and I really want them to accentuate getting their elbow somewhere and actually rotating with their torso. So I love this. And with the marches, resist the urge to like turn it into a B series, like to whip out with the leg, whip, bam, leg goes straight into the ground instead of kind of whipping out, which is obviously suboptimal because your force is not going to be 100% there. You're not getting as much out of it as you can, and you're certainly not going to travel forward more easily, project forward more easily because you're kind of flicking out. That's more max velocity. That's B series. Resist the urge to do that. Next one is the A switches, which again is the same thing with just more of a rhythm behind it. That's why rhythm was so important before to focus on and warm us up to. And this is the ultimate for rhythm, is the switches. Again, being super powerful, getting that leg straight into the ground, getting anxious to get back to the ground, and then coming right back up. Now the actual speed section itself is pretty simple because again, we need a lot of rest, but we're working on acceleration. If you're interested in seeing that part, make sure you click the link in the description and you can check it out there on Instagram. I'm not going to get into it because this was just focused on warm-ups, but this should be about 12 to 13 minutes time doing all of this. Once you get really good at it, you're probably going to get it down to under 10 minutes. So then you have more time to sprint. You're welcome. All right, guys, enjoy this. Go run. Make sure it's high quality because otherwise you're really wasting your time and energy, and enjoy.